The truth has risen. Those are the words of expelled Te Pāti Māori MP Maria Meno Kapa-Kingi after the High Court ruled she permanently be reinstated. She'd been accused of bringing the party into disrepute, but in a scathing judgment, the party's been found to have breached its policies and the tikanga that underpin them. Political editor Maiki Sherman reports.
It was a political breakdown on a scale rarely seen.
What's your response to allegations of a dictatorship model at the leadership?
Thank you. You first can thank Maiki for that one. Kia ora.
The fracturing of Te Pāti Māori creating serious accusations and scandal, debated not only in the court of public opinion, but also the High Court.
It is red rag to a bull to certain media and political opponents.
Today, Justice Radich ruled the exiled MP Maria Meno Kapa-Kingi is to be reinstated.
Hey, look, we respect the court's decision and we will uphold the recommendations made by the court, and we look forward to repatriating Maria Meno back into the party.
When the party suspended the MP, the court heard she wasn't invited to the meeting or told suspension was on the table. With no ability to respond and her electorate absent, the judge ruled the suspension was unlawful in the pure sense of that word. Then came the expulsion.
The breaches are about the standard that we expect from our members.
In court, Te Pāti Māori pointed to this One News interview.
It's time for change is what I see, Maiki.
Suggesting it brought the party into disrepute, but the judge found proper process for expulsion under the Constitution, or kawa, was not followed, declaring the party has not just breached the kawa's rules, but the very essence of the tikanga principles that expressly underpin the rules.
Well, we acknowledge that the court's given some guidance, and I think it's really important to take that rule of law and to be able to take that guidance for what it is.
Giving guidance is one thing, but do you acknowledge that you didn't get it right?
I think the court's made it really clear where we stood, so I don't know if anyone else got some other questions.
At its AGM in December, the party's position was clear.
Is there a future whereby Maria Meno and Tākuta could be back in the party permanently?
Well, that's an issue of trust, and it's been so badly broken. That's a very difficult issue.
Now the court has spoken.
Te Taitonga and Tākuta Ferris may feel as though he has a right also to be reinstated. Will you look at that?
Tākuta has made it quite clear that he'd be running as an independent heading into this next election, and I wish him all the luck in regards to that.
The party's rift not fully repaired, with the question now how they'll all get along.
Late this afternoon, the newly reinstated MP released a statement. Maiki, what's she saying?
Well, Maria Meno Kapa-Kingi said Justice Radich today delivered justice for Te Tai Tokero, the voters in her electorate. She said it was never her intention, her first choice, to take a case through the court. She did not want to incite division within the party, but she did want to test the processes, the procedures that the party adheres to, and whether or not they were being honoured, particularly the policies that are underpinned by tikanga Māori. She said today that justice has risen, and the decision to reinstate her not only speaks to her position, but it also reinstates the mana of her whānau and also the thousands of voices of the voters in her electorate, which she said were wrongfully silenced throughout this process. She said today's decision goes some way to healing the hurt, the mamai, but that it is still a first step. Now, I also reached out to John Tamihere today. We have not yet heard from him on this, but what did go in his favour, in the favour of the party today, was that the challenge to have his presidency removed was not successful. The judge found that his position is legitimate, so he remains as the party president for Te Pāti Māori. Of course, his views throughout this entire ordeal have been clear. He feels as though trust has been broken, and trust is not something that the courts can reinstate, that the courts can repair. That is something that the party and the MP, Maria Meno Kapa-Kingi, will need to repair themselves, and they'll need to do it quickly with the November election just around the corner.
Tēnei te mihi atu. Thanks, Maiki.